And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akugha as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akugha. Our lead story in today's package brings you the reaction of the human rights community to the controversial death of citizen Chima Ekwunado, one of the Ikoku 5 who allegedly died while in the custody of the Eagle Crack team of the River State Police Command. The fight against corruption and poverty in the Niger Delta and the rest of the country, as championed by the African Network of Environmental and Economic Justice ANEEJ, is the focus of our second report in today's package. Also in our lineup for today is a report on the efforts by the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs to transform the socio-economic landscape of the Niger Delta. We will in the course of the program also bring you the story of the septuagenarian Calabari musician Mr. Tamunoemi Gold, who was uplifted recently from poverty to prosperity through magnanimity of foremost philanthropist engineer Tein Jack Jr., founder and president of Belema Oil Producing Limited. And finally, in today's package, we take you to Isoko land in Delta State, where a young Nigerian is working tirelessly to preserve the people's cultural identity. Inside the Niger Delta, we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. The human rights community in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, has demanded justice for late Chima Ekwunado, an automobile technician who allegedly died in police custody and for others arrested by the law enforcement agents in December last year. This follows the release of the friends of the late Chima Ekwunado last week from a correctional center after several weeks of incarceration. Correspondent Chika Bodozie tells us more.
The late Chima Ekwunado was arrested alongside 4 of his friends on the 19th of December 2019. The young men, all automobile technicians plying their trade at the popular Ikoku automobile spare parts market, were slammed with robbery charges and detained for several weeks. They were allegedly tortured in police custody and subsequently charged to court for their alleged involvement in a robbery operation. Upon their discharge and acquittal by Port Harcourt Magistrate Court, which found no substance in the charges preferred against them, the 4 surviving suspects narrated their ordeal at the hands of officers attached to the Mile 1 police station, codenamed E-Crack, in Port Harcourt.
They refuse us making call. They hang us from 11 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. Chima Kumbiadi, yes. That is how Chima died. That is how Chima died. And up us here in the prison yard, look at me. Is that how Nigerian police is normally supposed to work? They are just killing innocent souls like that. But I'm promising that man, the entire generation, he will not go unpunished. He will go unpunished. He will receive it. His family.
Nigerians have a fundamental right to the dignity of the human person, not to be brutally tortured in any way. And then, of course, the Anti-Torture Act also criminalizes and abhors torture in any way. So, beginning with the Eagle Crack team that actually arrested them and meted that kind of brutal and murderous torture on them, it is not acceptable in our laws. We must, at all points, rise to defend the rights of citizens collectively and condemn this kind of excesses and extrajudicial actions of arresting authorities.
Shortly after last week's judicial pronouncement on the fate of the Ikoku 4, their close relatives spoke to our crew.
The owners of this vehicle that have come and bring the evidence of this vehicle, and they also said that these guys are mechanics, they are not an robbers. The police gave them accuse them that they are robbers, that kidnappers, that they stole this car, but they still release these cars to the owner after they bring all the evidence documentation that warrant the police to release this vehicle. But we don't know what lead them to us hang these guys, beat them up like this that lead to the death of Chima. They should serve punishment for this, because if the government keep quiet over this, they will still repeat it. They need to pay damages on these 4 people that are alive, and on the case of this Chima, it shouldn't go it shouldn't go like that.
In his reaction, Police Public Relations Officer in Rivers State, Nnamdi Omoni, has appealed to all interested parties to remain calm pending the outcome of an ongoing investigation into the alleged role of the Eagle Crack team in the death of late Chima Ikwunado.
The preliminary report is out. It's just that we're putting finishing touches. We want to conduct the autopsy, a second autopsy that will be supervised by the team investigating and even the family of the deceased. So that's where we are, and I do know that by the end of this last lap of investigation, the CP will address the press, and possibly, if our men are indicted, there will be appropriate punishment for them.
Nigerian citizens are being killed like chicken. We die every day, and nobody can come out to say, why are we dying like this? It's high time we tell ourselves the truth that Nigerians need to be saved. The police is being paid by our taxpayers' money. The gun they use, their motors, everything they use is being paid by taxpayers' money. We need to be protected.
Our demands are that another autopsy and a proper coroner's inquest done to ascertain the true position of what killed Chima. It is unheard of, it is illegal for the police to, on its own, without the family, to go ahead and carry out an autopsy. The 2 persons who own this car have come out to say that our cars were not missing, that these guys are our mechanics that we give our car, and have equally said that they know these boys historically that they are not robbers. So if the cars, that is the plank of this argument, if the cars, that is the issue at hand, if the owners of the cars have said these cars were not stolen and they didn't report anything to the police, then the fact speaks for itself. Immediately there should be an auditorium for these officers, and they should be prosecuted immediately.
The human rights community in Rivers State has since vowed to explore all legal avenues at its disposal to allow justice take its course in the case of the Ikoku 5.
Inside the Niger Delta.
How to effectively tackle the twin problems of corruption and poverty on the African continent was the theme of a one-day lecture organized recently in Abuja by the African Network for Environmental and Economic Justice, ANEEJ, an anti-corruption-based non-governmental organization. The lecture, organized in commemoration of the 25th anniversary of ANEEJ, was attended by experts in diverse fields who proffered solutions to the paradox of poverty in the midst of abundance as currently witnessed in the Niger Delta.
Poverty is a global problem that has become most pronounced on the African continent. The embarrassing state of poverty in the midst of abundant natural resources in the Niger Delta and other parts of Nigeria was a source of concern for various speakers at the lecture. Some of the factors driving poverty in the country were identified as historical, poor leadership, bastardized value system, and corruption.
Poverty is wicked. It removes from the victims, that is the poor, the capacity to live as human beings.
For us in ANEEJ is to begin to engage these issues to see that our people can all come out of poverty.
In addition to tackling endemic corruption in the country and the rest of the African continent, speakers at the just concluded lecture identified the need for huge investments in human capital development.
I'm not saying infrastructure is not important, infrastructure is critical, but we really need to focus on the people themselves. We must have a focused and strategic effort on how to facilitate our people to engage with the infrastructure and the services that should be available in our community.
By the year 2050, it is projected that the population of Nigeria, which is currently the world's poverty capital, will hit over 400 million. It was unanimously agreed at the lecture that it would take a more focused leadership to avert a looming economic crisis in Nigeria and the entire African continent. It was unanimously agreed at the lecture that it would take a more focused leadership to avert a looming economic crisis in Nigeria and the entire...
And I think very strongly that this single story that is going out that the Niger Delta youth are lazy is unacceptable. I feel very strongly that the youth has responsibility to change this story. And the better way to change this story is to first of all get themselves educated so that they can reposition themselves for leadership.
The event, organized by the African Network for Environmental and Economic Justice, is part of its contributions to the advancement of democracy and governance in the Niger Delta and across the country.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has disclosed plans to promote food sufficiency through massive production of rice and cassava in the region. He made the disclosure recently in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, where he met with Governor Ben Ayade to discuss the economic well-being of the Niger Delta in a post-oil economy. Correspondent Tekena Amilfori has details.
During his recent walking visit to Cross River State, Senator Godswill Akpabio was at the Ayade Industrial Park to witness the ongoing agricultural revolution program initiated by the state government. The minister was impressed with the massive production of rice in the state and indicated his interest to partner the state government in the collective interests of the Niger Delta region.
We would like to see this replicated in many states of the Federation, and particularly the Niger Delta region. I just asked him about how long it will take for us to have the seedlings, the rice seedlings ready. He said in about 8 days. 8 days, and that means by the time we pick it up in 8 days and we supplant it, it will take about 3 months for us to harvest, and then we come back for more, just like that. So it's an initiative that we must extend to other parts of the Niger Delta. It's not a joke. If we can do this in very high quantity, I believe that we'll be able to provide food for our people.
Senator Akpabio noted that it had become imperative to harness the vast agricultural potentials of the Niger Delta in readiness for a post-oil economy in the region. He said his ministry will liaise with the Niger Delta Development Commission to focus on massive cultivation of rice and cassava, noting that agriculture development was key in his ministry's agenda to transform the Niger Delta.
To a very large extent, this is one of our core mandates. Agriculture is it. We'll do the same thing in cassava. We are doing the same thing right now in rice. And Cross River State is going to be the pioneer. And it will lead to a major rice revolution in Niger Delta region.
For his part, Governor Ben Ayade lauded the government of President Muhammadu Buhari for placing a ban on rice importation. He said the federal government's policy will encourage local rice farmers and save the country billions of naira spent annually on rice importation before this time.
This is a major footprint, this is a major footfall from that is policy direction. And so for us as a state, we are simply practicalizing the mandate given and handed out by the President Muhammadu Buhari. That is the only way the President will say, when I came in, this is how much we were spending to import rice. But today, by 2023, Nigeria is rather exporting rice.
Governor Ayade also underscored the need to accord more priority to the agricultural sector, which holds out bright prospects for the Nigerian economy.
Oil has huge revenue income with very low employment data. So State is prepared to move thousands of young men into the farms. The economy is the way to go.
In line with its ministry's efforts to make agriculture an alternative source of income for the Niger Delta, Senator Akpabio went on an inspection visit to the cassava processing plant at Mbak Atai in Itu local government area of Akwa Ibom State.
Inside the Niger Delta.
All 9 oil-producing states comprising the Niger Delta will receive adequate attention from the federal government. This pledge was made by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, Olusade Adeshola, recently when he went to inspect some of the ministry's ongoing projects in Abia and Imo states.
On the directive of Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Mr. Adeshola recently embarked on a 3-day inspection tour of projects awarded to boost infrastructural and human development in Imo and Abia States. Some of the projects in Imo State were a standard toilet at Umuhu Central Market in Okpala local government area, the Okpala Iguruta Road, construction along the Owerelele Road, a housing estate at Umuagwo, and a skills acquisition center at Ohaji Ebema. Mr. Adeshola commended some of the contractors for efforts made so far in the completion of the project. When completed, he said, the project will be handed over to competent managers.
Our belief is that the communities will express interest in this project, and where we have credible expression of interest, the administration, the ministry will not hesitate to allow such expressee to manage the project.
Some of the projects inspected in Abia State include the Skills Acquisition Center for Oil and Gas at Owaza in Ukwa West Local Government Area, Niger Delta Ministry Housing Welfare Scheme, Basic Skills Acquisition Center Ubakala, and the Obehi Azumiri Road Construction Project.
The Honorable Minister, Distinguished Senator Akpabio, is committed to see to the completion of some of these projects. The projects are quite capital intensive. They are not 5 million, 1 million contracts. But with prioritization, I know we can achieve a lot.
The recent inspection of projects in Imo and Abia States was to ascertain the quality of work done so far by the contractors and to encourage them to speed up the process for the completion of all ongoing projects in the benefiting states.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Success in life is universally attributed to hard work and diligence. In the case of Mr. Tumnus Gold, a veteran musician born some 74 years ago in Buguma, traditional headquarters of Kalabari Kingdom in Rivers State, it took over 7 decades for the fruit of hard work to manifest in his life, as correspondent Lovely Ofigo reports.
Today, and this particular moment, Belema Oil Limited, Tein Jack Foundation, Aid Foundation, and the JV that bring us together today are formally presenting these keys to this building to you. We want you to use it to the glory of this kingdom.
The ancient Buguma town, headquarters of Asaritori local government area of Rivers State, went agog recently as friends, family and well-wishers of Tamunoemi Gold gathered to celebrate the official dedication of a brand new fully furnished 5-bedroom duplex with an inbuilt rehearsal studio built by engineer Jack Tein Jr., founder and president of Belema Oil Producing Limited. Tamunoemi Gold is the only surviving member of the late legendary Kalabari-born musician Rex Lawson. After Rex Lawson passed on, Mr. Gold continued to write and perform songs locally but had a hard time fending for his family. The 74-year-old beneficiary expressed gratitude and was full of praises for engineer Jack Rich.
Yes, this is where I reside. I came in here since 2010, October 20. I feel very happy. I feel rest. I have rest of mind in me. This is something like we see in the dreamland. In the dream, sometimes you dream you are very rich, but when you wake up, nothing is on you. so it happens to me. As if I'm seeing this in a say, that house there, I'm seeing that as a dreamland. But it's real. So I am always praying to God. If I would stay 100 years, 10 to stay 110. If I'm going to stay 120, 10 should stay 140.
God should bless our big brother that did this for us. They should replenish him gloriously. Whatsoever he lays his hand on shall be blessed and prosperous. And he should protect his children, protect him. He's going out and he's coming in. Will bless forevermore.
Mr. Gold caught the attention of engineer Jack in March 2019 when he composed a soulful Kalabari tune in support of the then incumbent governor of Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike, on social media. The Kalabari-born oil magnate, despite having a kinsman contesting in the same election, took interest in the song and the composer and requested the Jack Tein Foundation to build him a 5-bedroom duplex with an inbuilt rehearsal studio.
The founder and owner of Belema Oil heard it and he immediately called on me and traced the owner, the producer of this music, that I should look for him. And eventually we found him, and he said immediately I should find out what to do for him. We find out that this man has no home that he can call his own, and immediately mandated that I should start something immediately. And under 7 to 8 months, we're able to complete this building.
Today happens to be one of the greatest days for entertainers in Rivers State, in Niger Delta, because we have not seen such an empowerment before. We say a very big thank you to Belema Jack Tein Jr. We say thank you so much, and God continue to bless you.
The 5-bedroom duplex named Tamunoemi Gold Music House is an empowerment initiative of the Belema Oil JV in collaboration with Jack Tein Foundation and Belema Oil Aid Foundation. Present at the event marking its dedication were notable chiefs and royal fathers in Kalabari Kingdom.
Inside the Niger Delta.
There is no gainsaying the fact that young talents waiting to be nurtured and fully developed for socioeconomic transformation abound in the Niger Delta. Isoko-born Vivian Agofure, who is currently promoting her native language and culture through social media, is one of the creative young minds advancing the cause of the Niger Delta region. Correspondent Lovely Ofigo tells us more about Miss Agofure and her dreams.
In recent times, most communities in the Niger Delta have had to contend with the increasing trend of cultural alienation. This follows the inability of the younger generation to interact with their local languages and connect with their history. Rising to the occasion in Isoko land, a young cultural activist, Vivian Agofure, has decided to preserve the Isoko language and culture through the Isoko Cartoon Network, now trending on social media. Ms. Agofure is able to teach kids across the globe the basics of Isoko language.
Auntie Vivian, Diwo, Vrendo, Komara, Mesasa. Auntie Vivian, Kuwasangu me warijonere jevun. Mamuho. Ego, Ugeji. Emeje, Amaga, Ugogolo, Omode, Usiave, Esabatu, Agbara, Uwowo.
You can't be with an Isoko person. There are Isoko kids around me. They don't even know how to greet. They don't know the mingle, those things. They don't know anything about the Isoko language. And I have a friend who is abroad that Yorubas. The kids, they speak Yoruba very well. That's why I thought that they are not in Nigeria here. So that was okay, let me come up with this animation, this Isoko cartoon video, so that to enable the children, those who are already lost, at least with this, as they are watching it, they can learn. So that they can. I want everybody to value the culture, the Isoko language. I want people to love it because it's our culture, we can't throw it away. And I want the kids to know how to speak Isoko very well, even if they are not around, outside, wherever they are, they should value the culture. So that's the more reason I'm doing it, and for the growth of the Isoko.
Ms. Agofure, who holds a national certificate in education, is driven by her love and passion for Isoko language and culture and would stop at nothing to preserve her cultural identity. Her dream is to establish a television station to promote Isoko cultural heritage, but would need assistance to pull through the challenge of financial handicap.
The kind of help I need is finance. finance, and I need finance, and I also need our Isoko top people, those politicians, those people who are not even in Nigeria, those Isoko high personality people to recognize what I'm doing and for them to connect with me and support finance and at least to help me push it forward. Yeah, I'll be praying. I want to go far with it. I want to be known, not just here internationally. I want to go far. I was even planning that if God bless me with good money, I want to have a TV station on my own.
Ms. Vivian Agofure, a professional musician, is influenced by popular Nigerian reggae artist Evie Edna Ogoli, who is also indigenous to the Isoko ethnic nationality.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the much we can take on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screen. Until next week, I am Mamode Akugha saying thank you so much for watching and bye for now.